Well, this squash is looking good. It's got lots of almost blooms in there. This one's doing pretty good. Beans are looking nice. Got 2 peppers that are doing really good. Finally, peppers have been my slow ones this year for some reason. Onions are doing good. And that little cantaloupe, that's the second time I've moved him over here. Now he's got a stick. Let go of that stick. There. You got this whole row. Nothing else made it. We're going to run you down that row. You can't have the onion row. And the cucumbers are starting to bloom. And they're starting to come up on the panel a little. They were a little slow to take off too. And there's another pepper that's, a couple peppers that are starting to take off. But I'd sure like to see the peppers doing better. They're pretty scraggly this year. Tomatoes are doing great. There's tomatoes on, and they're all doing real good, going up the panels. Starting to get some blooms on a lot of them. This one is our winner. This is a Abe Lincoln, and haven't had one of those before, I don't think. But anyway, it's really coming. It's to the top. Now those panels are taller because those are more like cherry tomatoes on there, and they tend to get taller. But boy, this one's up to the top, so it's going to be a big plant. And our little teeny tiny tomato is finally taken off. Had to lace it in a couple times into the panel now, so it's way smaller than its neighbors, but it's getting there. And we have little tomatoes on this one too. I don't know if you can see that. These are the ones we got from Lorna, and those black tomatoes, some of those were already there when we planted it, so we're waiting to see. They're supposed to get a little bit green on the bottom, but I don't know. The second one's got tomatoes on it too now, but all of them have blooms. They're all doing good. We're at about 2.5 months from when we planted it. So when we got the last things planted. So it's coming along. And the only thing, we've picked a couple of peppers. You can see we got a few more to pick. It's going to be ready soon. And we've picked a couple off that big one on the other side. We've picked some of those. We have lots of blooms, so have more soon. Rodney picked me some more blackberries this morning, and a mess of grapes too. Yay! I always think those squash blooms are just so pretty. Yep. And the beans have blooms too. See the bean blooms? There's some more over there. Little ones coming out there. Yeah, everything's doing good now except my peppers. Peppers are still a little straggly, but they're doing better. Here is the pile of foxtail that Rod and Tony raked out of the yard and piled up to compost for a couple of years. And he got the chicken coop cleaned, put on the top. Now he's going to get some barn waste put on the top of that. And we're going to turn that soaker hose on, get it good and wet, and cover it with plastic. And let it go for a couple years and kill out those foxtail seeds so we can use it for compost. always projects around here. This is where we planted the corn, and we had covered it with compost for a couple of years and wet it down and covered it. And we used it for 2 years. It was working out good, and then Rodney forgot to cover it. So it got covered with weeds, and that was the point, was to kill out all the weeds and have good dirt there. So he's covering it back up with compost, and we're gonna wet it down and cover it for a couple of years. We'll try it again. I swear, this is the happiest plant in our garden. Look at all those blooms. We're gonna have some squashes. Yeah. It's only one plant, but it's gonna have a lot of squashes on it. We have a little one next to it that's doing pretty good. Starting to get some blooms on the cantaloupe, and it's being good and coming down the run. And that last pepper is starting to turn around and do good. Of course, the beans are doing great. That pepper's doing better too. I think that one is a lost cause, but you never know. Maybe it'll come around. But yeah, the beans are doing nice. Of course, the onions are all doing great, and they're going to do so much better this year with no weeds in there. Cucumbers are blooming and climbing. And part of the peppers look good. Part of them are still sad, really sad, but part of them are doing good. We're getting some peppers on them. I got a weed in here. They're getting a little bit of grass. But we are starting to get a few peppers coming out. Of course, our tomatoes are doing awesome. Abe Lincoln is over the top of the panel now. Doing great. Lots of blooms. I gotta come in and push some branches in. These guys are trying to escape good. But yep, time to put some branches in. There's another escapee. But yeah, they're doing great. Bean blooms, see the bean blooms? Be having beans before we know it. There's my one eggplant, and it was looking a little sad, and it's starting to get some nice new healthy leaves on it now, so I think it'll be good. Tomatoes. You can see the tomatoes in there. That one's got tomatoes. That's why that one escapes, because it's got a big tomato on it. He's weighing it down. But yeah, we're going to be having lots of tomatoes soon. Lots of blooms. And we're refilling this for next year's garden. Getting compost put on there. I'm going to wet that down, cover it up with the plastic, and let it cook till next year. We'll put it on in the spring. Getting things all done and prepped for next year too. Really glad that our garden is working out good. We did get it in a little earlier, but still so late this year. Look at all those nice blooms. And there's some little tomatoes. And look at the little tiny scrawny one. Look how good it's doing. And it's got a cluster of blooms right there too. And they're finally coming around. There's interesting to see what these tomatoes are like. Look at them, little baby tomatoes. Bigger ones on this one. Yeah, the garden's looking really good. Gonna start getting more stuff. Only thing we've harvested so far is a few peppers, but there's gonna be lots more soon. Thanks for watching. We're just getting into the middle of August, so it hasn't even been another month since my last video, and everything's really taken off. So we'll see how things go in the next few weeks. I'm thinking we'll have lots of produce. Thanks for watching. Talk to you next time. Have a great day.